Honorable Rector, Distinguished Dean, President Wellink, faculty colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great privilege for me to be with you today to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Center and also to participate in the honorary doctorate awarded to Governor Wellink and also to observe the awarding of the Van Lanschot Prizes, and I'm very honored to be part of this distinguished occasion. I thank Professor Eifinger very much for his very generous introduction. I remember well the dinner to which he refers, and I only wish that the remarks of our president had proved as prescient as the remarks of Governor King of the Bank of England. The subject that I would like to explore with you this afternoon is one that draws from our focus of the day on the link between economic research and economic policy making. The question I would like to pose is why we attach so much importance and whether, as a moral concern, we are right to attach as much importance as we do to the performance of our economy, both in the sense of maintaining economic activity as close as we can to the existing frontier at any point, and even more importantly, to doing whatever we can to allow that frontier to expand over longer periods of time. Now, the very first thing to say is that for approximately 4/5 of the world's population, the answer to the question I've just posed would be both immediate and obvious. The reason is that across a very large swath of the world's income distribution today, improvements in material living standards translate immediately and directly into improvements in such human basics as how long people live, what diseases they suffer from, how many of their children will die in infancy, how many of their adult fellow citizens will be undernourished, and the like. But as we are increasingly becoming aware, virtually all of these connections between improvements in material living standards and improvements in these human basics have pretty well played themselves out by the time a society reaches certainly no more than half of the standard of living that, for example, we enjoy in the United States today, or very close to that of what you enjoy in the Netherlands. For example, to take a country that I visit from time to time in Asia, the South Koreans enjoy a standard of living not quite half of ours in the United States. The South Koreans live just as long as we do, or as long as you do. They enjoy the same morbidity experience. It's embarrassing for an American to admit it, but infant mortality in South Korea is better, that is to say lower, than it is in my country. It's not quite as low as it is in the Netherlands. And so any hope of a connection between further increases in living standards in a country with a standard of living already at the level of South Korea must have nothing to do with further improvements in these human basics. The answer that I would like to propose to you goes well beyond the confines of economics narrowly construed. It is that when the broad cross-section of a society's population is enjoying an increase in its material standard of living, and further has some sense of confidence that that increase is likely to continue into the future, and even some plausible grounds for optimism that people's children after them will likewise share in this improvement, that is a crucial condition, if not the key condition, under which the society is also likely to make progress along other dimensions which Western thinking, ever since the Enlightenment of the 18th century, has regarded not only as positive, but as positive in moral terms. Let me be specific. I have in mind, in the first instance, openness of opportunity, especially meeting as we do today here in a distinguished university. We are acutely aware that a major question confronting any society is whether the opportunities presented to young people will be made available only to the sons and daughters and the nieces and nephews of those who already occupy the highest ranks of the society, or whether opportunities will be made available more broadly. One aspect of the idea that I would like to explore with you this afternoon is that when the broad bulk of a society's population has a sense of forward progress in its material standard of living, that is a condition under which the society not only can afford, but is more likely to want to make opportunities available more broadly. Second, I have in mind tolerance. Well, tolerance with respect to what? As an American, I would immediately think of race relations. As an American, again, but I suspect the issue is also at the top of the list here in the Netherlands as well, I would also think of attitudes toward immigrants. But I also have in mind issues like ethnic discrimination, religious prejudice. Once again, the hypothesis I would like to suggest is that when the majority of a society's citizens has this sense of forward progress in its material living standard and confidence that people and their children will continue to enjoy that progress in the future, this is the condition under which tolerant behavior by private citizens is more likely to flourish. Third, I have in mind a sense of fairness and generosity toward those who are left behind. After all, we are